Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back. Inshallah, tonight, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll be speaking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's statement, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفُّونَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. That every soul will taste death, and you will be paid in full only on the day of resurrection. Whoever is kept away from the fire and admitted to the garden will have triumphed. The present world is only an illusionary pleasure. And this verse has a number of key points that it's important for us to focus on. The first of them is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's use of the word dha'iqah, His use of the word taste. And it's important to understand when we think of taste, it's not something that we usually associate with death. And the important thing about taste is that there is a spectrum of tastes. And from those tastes, we have sweetness, and from those tastes, we have bitterness. And it is for this reason, and Allah knows best, that He actually utilized this term to help us put in perspective that we have a choice in the type of death that we seek and the type of death that we want. And how do we achieve that successful death? How do we actually get to a point in our lives where we have a khatimat al-misk, where we have a beautiful end and a beautiful death on our hands? We all hope that we're surrounded by loved ones, that we're surrounded by family, that we died in a state where we were actually able to leave behind a legacy and to donate appropriately and, leave behind something with our children, leave behind something for our communities. And we all want that sweet death. Nobody wants that bitter death. Nobody wants to taste that bitterness. We all want to taste that sweetness. And unfortunately, or fortunately, inshallah, for many of us, on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show us all of the work that was done and everything that we did. So everything that we put forward, all the work that we did, all the sadaqah jariyah that we were able to take part in, all the sadaqah jariyah that we were able to contribute to, it is on that day we will see the summation of all of those deeds. There's only so much we can do in this life, and that's completely understandable. And there's only so much that we can contribute to. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this opportunity to actually earn inappropriate to, or what is appropriate to, multiple lifetimes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this means. He's given us this ability. He's given us this chance. And it is during this month of Ramadan that also we come across Laylatul Qadr. And it's another opportunity for us to multiply our deeds and multiply our good deeds going forward, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us that it is on the Day of Judgment that we will receive this reward. And then He says something really important, that those individuals who are saved from the hellfire, those are the ones that were successful. He doesn't talk about those individuals who entered paradise. And think about that. This helps give us a little bit of perspective. And it helps us understand and deal many times with the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how there are many times Allah speaks in the cyclical pattern, right? So if He talks about the people of Iman, He'll talk about the people of disbelief. When He talks about, the things that are impermissible, He'll talk about the things that are permissible. And it's very important to understand how to follow that cycle so that it helps us pay attention to when we're following and when we're reading the Quran and when we're engaging in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this death, and death is something that is real. I know every single one of us has experienced it in some way, shape, and form because of friends, because of family, because of co-workers. There is no one that has the ability or has found a way to escape death. And there is no way, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises us in this verse, saying, kullu nafs, every soul. There's not a soul that will not taste it. There is not a soul that will not experience it. What are we doing to prepare for it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this blessed month to take advantage of it. And we know that one of the ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives an individual is the one who dies with a light heart, the one who doesn't hold any malice, who doesn't hold any grievances, the one who is able to navigate his life in a happy way, trying not to hurt others and trying to please his Lord. I hope that we're able to utilize this blessed month and keep death in mind. Keep death in mind when we're dealing with our families. Keep death in mind when we're dealing with our co-workers. Keep death in mind when we're dealing with our friends. All of these individuals are the ones that surround us. These are the ones that we spend time with. And there will come a time where either one of them is going to pass or I am. And if I keep that in mind, it'll help bring some balance to some of those relationships, inshallah. And that's why it's such an important reminder. It's not one that we all like to hear about, but it is something that will happen. What are we doing to prepare for it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq.